Welcome to the In the Pink of Health Luncheon. I am Tim Baker, president of the Northeast Hospital Foundation. This is luncheon number 8, and it's a special one. I'll tell you why in a moment. First, I want to thank Devin Alexander and Annette Calfee and our In the Pink Health Host Committee. Their names are listed in the program. That's really not enough credit given the amount of time and effort they've donated to make sure this luncheon is successful. So take a look at the names and be sure to thank them. This luncheon couldn't be successful without them. Our host committee, of course, makes this event happen, but it's your contribution that makes it successful. So a big thank you to you as well. Over the last 8 years, yes, it's hard to believe, but we've been hosting these luncheons for 8 years. Over the last 8 years, several organizations have been particularly generous in supporting In the Pink. I want to thank the Northeast Hospital Authority. They are our presenting sponsor and strong supporters of the goals of the Northeast Hospital Foundation and Memorial Hermann Northeast Hospital. I want to thank our speaker sponsor this year, the Memorial Hermann Northeast Hospital Volunteers. We're featuring Fox 26 morning news anchor Melissa Wilson, who has emceed most of our luncheons and is a true friend of the foundation. While there are so many of you who are generous in supporting In the Pink, I want to thank Dr. Catherine Pearson and our video friends at Lone Star College who produced this video you are watching. We have a very special program for you this year. Joining us on stage as our speaker is Melissa Wilson. She is a friend of the foundation. She's emceed our events for a number of years, including the years we hosted the annual gala as well as most of our In the Pink of Health luncheon. Melissa has a particularly compelling story, the journey she has taken as news anchor, mother, and caregiver of a young son enduring cancer treatment. She calls it Conquering Cancer with Courage, and she'll share it with us a little later. But first, we want to give you an update on a foundation program that we believe is so vital to women in our community, Project Mammogram.
When Joyce White first came to the Northeast Hospital Foundation Board in 2001, she had in her hand a $5,000 grant from the Kingwood Women's Club, and her thought was to provide free mammograms to women in our community who needed one but couldn't afford it. That thought became Project Mammogram. For those of you who've never heard of Project Mammogram, we provide free mammograms and subsequent diagnostics to men and women in our Lake Houston area who meet our financial guidelines. That first year, Project Mammogram provided mammograms for just a few in our community, mammograms that they desperately needed but could never have afforded. Today, what began as a dream is now a reality. Since our beginning, we have provided mammograms and peace of mind for more than 7,800 women from throughout the Lake Houston area.
I'm Millie Garrison. I'm the Executive Director of Humble Area Assistance Ministries, better known as HAM. HAM is a nonprofit set up to help those in crisis and those in need. We try to be a one-stop shop at HAM so that when our clients spend the gas to get to our location, they get lots of services. All of our clients are in the low income, the working poor, and so they usually don't have any other medical resources. So the clients that Project Mammogram is helping, they wouldn't have any other options.
I'm Pam Dixon. I'm the Executive Director of Mission Northeast, located in New Caney. Mission Northeast is a faith-based nonprofit organization located in New Caney. We provide free programs and services to people living in poverty in an area of 11 zip codes and over 800 square miles. There was a lady who had been diagnosed with breast cancer, and her husband left her because of that. She had several children, as well as facing breast cancer, and no one left to help support her. And there was a great collaboration between HAM, Mission Northeast, Lone Star College, Kingwood, and Project Mammogram to help this lady get through the difficult time that she was going through physically as well as emotionally. She got job training, she was able to get a job, she's well and healthy, and she has a great life. You just can't say enough good things about Project Mammogram. It's a wonderful service.
My name is Lynn Harper, and I am the Director of Society of St. Stephen's in Kingwood, Texas. Society of St. Stephen's is a 501c corporation agency, and we provide a food pantry and a clothing area, and we also provide utility assistance and prescription assistance. We're the oldest social service agency in the area, but we work very closely with other churches and organizations. Project Mammogram fits very well, very seamlessly into our mission. The opportunity to provide additional health services through Project Mammogram is a tremendous asset that we offer at Society of St. Stephen's. I think it's difficult to put into words the impact that Project Mammogram has on society or our community, but I think I would say that it's a sense of empowerment, that it empowers the women to be strong in seeking out health care for themselves. And if it starts with a mammogram, then perhaps they can extend that to other health services that they may need, not only for themselves, but for their family.
The educational component that we provide at these missions and throughout our community visits is a very important and far-reaching part of our program. We educate women and men on the importance of breast cancer awareness. We've received many phone calls and letters of thanks from people, some who have health insurance, and happened to be present at one of our talks. The talk inspired them to get checked, and cancers were found. I recently received a letter from a patient who is near and dear to Joyce White and myself. She was diagnosed shortly after I started working with Joyce in 2007, and she writes, 8 years ago, I was from Colorado visiting my family in Houston and was diagnosed with breast cancer on my right side. I found the lump myself while watching TV. I felt a ping of pain, did a breast self-exam, and there it was, the lump. Being unemployed and having no health insurance, I was pretty scared and not knowing what I was going to do. I immediately called a major hospital downtown, and they told me to contact my community hospital, which was Memorial Hermann Northeast. When I called, the receptionist at the cancer center told me about a program called Project Mammogram, and that they were signing people up who were uninsured and low income. Upon signing up, I met Joyce White. Joyce is my angel. I truly believe God sent her to me. That very day, Joyce scheduled my first mammogram. Next, I went for biopsy. I had 2 rounds of chemotherapy, surgery, and weeks of radiation. Soon, I will be 8 years in remission. I will forever be grateful from the depths of my heart and soul for Joyce White and Project Mammogram, for they truly saved my life. If anything good or positive came from this experience, it would be the many new and lifetime friends and sisters that I now have from the Memorial Hermann Northeast Cancer Center Breast Support Group, to which I now continue to belong. Project Mammogram thrives because of the determination and resolve of some very impressive members of our community: Kingwood Women's Club, Susan G. Komen Houston, and Randall Reed Planet Ford in Umberland Spring. And, of course, each of you here today. By supporting our luncheon, you help to support the work of Project Mammogram. To all of you, we thank you for helping us to make sure that each woman in our community has the peace of mind that a mammogram can bring.
This luncheon has 3 very simple goals: to raise money for the Memorial Hermann Northeast Hospital cancer programs, as well as our foundation programs, to bring you an outstanding and motivating speaker, and to honor someone special from our community. I've already told you about Melissa Wilson, who will be here on stage in a few minutes. And now it's time to tell you about who we're honoring and why. This year we honor Norman Funderburk, former trustee with the Northeast Hospital Authority and past longtime president of the Northeast Hospital Foundation. As a matter of fact, we can credit Norman Funderburk for coming up with the idea of the In the Pink of Health luncheon. I surprised Norman back in January at the Lake Houston Chamber's award ceremony. That's when the Chamber named Norman as their Lake Houston Citizen of the Year. I should also mention that Norman, that same week, also was inducted into the Humble High School Baseball Hall of Fame. Then I announced that Norman would be our In the Pink of Health honoree as well. I said back in January, and it still holds true today, it seems that 2015 is the year of Norman Funderburk.
I first got to know Norman through his role on the Northeast Hospital Authority and Northeast Hospital Foundation. Norman played an instrumental role in developing the partnership between the Northeast Hospital Authority and Memorial Hermann for what is now known as Memorial Hermann Northeast Hospital. This partnership remains strong today in serving the healthcare needs of our community. What makes Norman unique is his approach with people. Whether you're an old friend or a new friend, Norman Funderburk is all in on that friendship. You can always count on Norman to be there when you need him. Norman is deserving of this award because of his actions. Norman puts service over self and is a role model in our community for the next generation to follow. Norman's involvement has helped make this community what it is today, although you would almost never know it. Norman's humble approach to serving his community can be found in a number of ways. Whether it's supporting Humble Wildcat athletics on the sideline or in the stands, bidding on livestock at the Humble ISD Livestock Show and Rodeo, being actively involved at Humble Area's First Baptist Church, or presiding on the Humble City Council bench. You can be sure that no one cares more about this community than Norman.
You know, I've known Norman for, well, as long as I can remember. He's known me since I was in diapers. But he's been a longtime family friend, a great, great individual. You know, when I think of Norman, I think of a man of character. Norman exhibits not just his activity in the community, but his character, his religious beliefs, and he doesn't waver from those. Yeah, he's humble. I mean, he really exemplifies what humble really is.
For 6 of these last 8 years as president of the Northeast Hospital Foundation, I had the honor and pleasure of welcoming you to this luncheon and introducing the honoree. So it's very humbling and a little strange to be speaking to you today as the honoree. There's so many people, many right here in this room today, who are equally deserving of this recognition because of their contributions to the success of the foundation, the hospital, and our community. Recognizing that, I want to thank you for this honor. I also want to thank my wife, Kathy. We celebrate 44 years together this year, and without her, I wouldn't be receiving this or any award. My 15 years as a trustee of the Northeast Hospital Authority and as a member of the Northeast Hospital Foundation were among the most challenging and yet rewarding years of my life. While the foundation makes many unique contributions to our community, I always considered Project Mammogram to be the crown jewel, and I'm so happy to see Tony and the ladies of the various missions describe the impact that Project Mammogram has on our community. I resigned from the authority and the foundation board after I was elected to the Humble City Council. While my focus is now centered on the needs of our community, I'll never forget the impact the authority and foundation have had on my life and my community. I will continue to support them in whatever role that I have. Back in January at the Lake Houston Awards ceremony, I gave my blueprint on how to make a difference. It's very basic and has 3 easy steps. First, simply get involved. Second, find ways to serve, taking ownership, not just as a tourist. And third, give back, give back. As I said back in January, we have so many opportunities in this community to do all 3. Thank you for making me your honoree, and while this may be my high water mark at this point, I promise you, as I promised you back in January, my present situation is not my final destination. I promise the best is yet to come.
Congratulations, Norman, and of course, congratulations to Kathy. You are both very hard-working leaders in our community. You make Humble and Lake Houston a better place to live. You may not know this, but the 3rd Friday of every October is National Mammography Day, an appropriate day for us to celebrate the impact that Project Mammogram has on our community. Once again, to each of you, the Foundation, trustees, and I say thank you for sharing your time and your money. We will be careful stewards of your generosity.